Yo, the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Ant Smash Productions or its affiliates.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your man Smash coming at you with another episode of the Smash Cast All Is. It's been a minute since I did one of these. How long? When was the last one posted? It's been a real minute. Hold on, let me pull this up right quick. Wait a sec. Let me peep this. Let me peep this. When was the last one? Episode 8. Wait, 9 months ago. I did this shit 9 months ago. Since I did an episode of All Ears. I love doing All Ears. I like it slightly more than doing live because live, as much as I love live, man, it's just not the same as getting my whole brain. This is everything. Doing all ears, I could really be myself, kick back, and just, because this is just me. I don't have people sitting there waiting for me. It's really just you guys. You guys wait for me, but you sit here, you take the time, and you want to hear my full thoughts. So I think that's partially why it's like you get the full scope of me. Now I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think I have to delete a few episodes of all ears that I have in the pipeline, only because of how they are a bit dated. I'm not gonna front, slightly dated, and I just mean like I said, it's been 9 years, so it's been a minute since I last posted. Since the stuff I was talking about then, it's still current events, but at the same time, it did pass. That's one reason, but actually, the main reason, in all honesty, the way that I went about talking about those topics, I didn't like, and I honestly didn't appreciate myself. There's myself because they are heavy topics. Again, like not to, I don't want to really talk about it. That's not what I'm trying to do with this episode, but like just to get into it right quick, I talk about Chappelle and the transgenders. And there was this other one. I think I went into suicide a little bit. I don't know, but there was only really like two that were in the pipeline, and then there's actually another one, which was a birthday one with me and my brother on his birthday. But I can't. I'm not. I can actually edit that down. Take out some things that were said on there, just because I just don't want to revisit what happened on that one. Just some stuff I don't want to go into. Personally, yeah, even I withhold some things for you guys just because just because I don't want to revisit some shit, bro. It's not that I want to withhold information from you guys because I don't want you to know. It's just because it just cans of worms, just cans of worms that I can talk about stuff surrounding it, but I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't even want to think about it. Nothing like yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna stop talking about it. But yeah, uh, the main reason I'm doing this podcast today, guys, is I want to revisit. I just want to say, well, first, I want to say hi. I want to say I'm back. We did take a hiatus, especially from this one. I took a hiatus from this one, and I just wanted to come back and do another one because I do have some stuff I want to get off my chest. Also, damn near 4 minutes in, but I have the AC on, so if you hear that shit in the back, it is what it is. I'm in my room, cooling right now. It's hot outside, a little humid, so fuck it. And my dog is here with me. I'm cool. I'm cooling right now. I'm actually cooling. I got an open mic later to get to at La Cabanita in PK. That's usually. Let me plug that right quick, I guess. So yeah, my boy Joe. I forget his last fucking name. Alfano. Joe Alfano on YouTube. He's got an open mic at La Cabanita in Main Street in Poughkeepsie every Thursday from 6:30. Sign up is at 6:30. Show starts at 7. He's thinking about pushing it to. I will say this. He's thinking about pushing it back to 8. And so the sign up will be 7:30. But they do close at no. They do close at 9 though. So he might just push it back a half hour. Let's see what happens. But right now, he will update it. Right now, he will. It's so again. It's La Cabanita in Poughkeepsie. Sign up at 6:30. Shows at 7. Mexican restaurant, nice place, nice people, and then there's an. It's every Thursday. Comedy mic. So don't come in thinking you could just bring your guitar and start playing fucking tunes. I think they have another open mic for that. You'd have to ask management, but that's a comedy mic. Alright. And then there's another mic over in New Paltz. I keep saying Pleasant Valley in New Paltz with my man Dylan Rizzucci at Gadaletto's. It's a seafood joint every Tuesday from what is it? That starts at sign-ups at 7:30, shows at 8. And yeah, that one's really been booming. I've been going to those two. Well, La Cabanita just started, but Dylan's been doing his mic for a minute. That's at Gadaletto's, New Paltz, seafood joint. Starts sign-ups at 7:30, shows at 8. So if you want to come out do some stand-up, those are two mics in the Poughkeepsie, New Paltz area that you could definitely go to. Anyway, so let's finally get to it. So guys, listen, the main reason I want to do this is just like I got a lot of shit going on. I have a lot of things popping off that I really just wanted to talk about. I've been going through a lot lately, just mentally, spiritually, and physically, like just everything. I've just been going through so much. And I've just been trying to figure things out and find things out and try to get try to just move forward and figure things out and move forward. And how can I become a better person, a better boyfriend, a better son, a better brother, a better father to my dog and my geckos, a better grandson. I've just been trying to be better. And to do that, I've had to really take a step back from the world. Some would call it hiding. I would call it taking a step back. Because it wasn't just like I just retreated into a hole, which is what I was doing for it was what I was doing for a number of years. When I was doing in my night owl days, because I was a night owl for a good while. I think when we was doing Tuesday night Smashcast, that I believe not that that entire period like was when I was really deep into my night owl days, like out for like a number of years, like 3 or 4 years. I was no like 2016 to mid 2020. So like like 4.5, almost 5 years. I was in that night owl life, stuck in a rut, fucked up. And that sounds good on paper. Like I don't like people like that, but that night owl life, that was partially why. But there's a whole thing that goes with that, and I've broken out of that actually recently. Like I still go to bed at 2 in the morning. I go to bed at midnight, somewhere around it. Like generally, I try to be in bed by 2 in the morning. I used to go to bed 7 in the morning. I used to sleep from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., bro. That's not healthy. Like it sounds nice, and I would use the excuse of I gotta save energy to do stand up. I gotta save energy to. I prefer to work at night. I prefer to do stuff at night, And my mother knew what was up early on, that I was actually just hella depressed. And I knew I was depressed, but I didn't know how depressed I really was. But I just moved. I was still working. I was still doing open mics, doing stand up. I was doing podcasts. I was working on my book. I was doing things. It wasn't like I was just fucking around. But there were a lot of days where I was fucking around. I can't say and deny that. And I've been trying to remember why I broke out of that and when I broke out of it. I think it was because I started to do background work on the show Pretty Little Liars: Original Sin. I started to do a lot of background work on that, and I can't go into detail because I think I don't. I think I'm not even able to say that. No, I didn't sign no fucking NDA. I didn't sign an NDA. But I mean, that's as far as I can go. Can't say shit else. But when I started getting background roles for that show, like regularly, that's when I broke out of that. And it's only fairly recently that I actually started to stay up during the day. I'm trying to remember when, but I can't, and it kind of annoys me because I want that timetable because it really shows that I was really stuck in a rut and like for a number of years, and now I'm actually breaking out of that whole existence. It's a big deal because I wasn't in a good space. I was depressed about my father. I was depressed because I felt like nobody would help me. After being a spoiled child, and I will say a spoiled child because my parents did give me a lot of things and they did help me out, and my mother had to force me to do something. She had to force me to buy groceries, buy my own groceries. I had to figure that shit out on my own. And I did. I actually enjoy buying groceries by myself. I actually enjoy going to the grocery store on my own, picking up my own food and shit. That's actually that's actually a real nice leisurely activity that I enjoy doing by myself. But it's the little things like that that really you need to teach your children early on to adult. And something like that, buying your own food, I don't think people think about how big of a thing that is for a child, but it's a big thing when you really think about it because you spend how much of your life, I don't want to say at the mercy, but when you spend the majority of your life having somebody take care of you, buy food, by a necessities, but let's just go with food, a necessity, like food. You're the majority of your life, and then now you have to buy your own. You have to acquire your own funds somehow, and then acquire your own nourishment, your own nutrients, so that you can stay alive. That's a big deal when you really think about it. It's a big fucking deal. And I enjoy it. I honestly enjoy it. Because I've actually been taking care of my health a lot more now. My physical well-being. I monitor my food not under a microscope, but with careful eyes, really careful eyes. Because if I were to do it under a microscope, I wouldn't eat. I would not eat, bro. This is America, man. The amount of bullshit that we pump in our food, what we might as well not eat it, bro. We all might as well die of starvation right the fuck now. Like, let's be real. Let's be honest. But so with me having to buy my own food, I think that was a big turning point for me. And part of it, I was one step closer to growing up, and that really is a one step closer to growing up situation. And I guess that's just what I was running from this whole time, was just the desire to grow up, or well, no, the necessity to grow up. I don't think I wanted to grow up because I was scared. I was scared of what was out there, what was out there in the world. Like, they don't prepare you for what's out there. They don't. School, if you think I was in high school, like I was in middle school. No. I was in elementary school, wondering what would happen after high school. So what? I just go to college, and then what happens after that? Nothing. Like what? I just fade off. Like what's a whole new world after that? In elementary school, and frankly, I don't think they should teach you this in elementary school. They shouldn't teach you how to grow up. I'm of two minds about it because when you're a child, you just want to have fun. You want to fuck your curiosity. The only thing that drives you is curiosity and fun. You just want to have fun, and I think that you need to learn. Obviously, you need to learn, but also you need to have fun. You need to know that the world ain't bad. That the world ain't so fucking bad. That yes, it's bad. It can be relentless. It also can be fun and beautiful. And that's what we need to teach our kids. And in middle school, that's when we slowly ease ourselves into the real world because now at this point we're teenagers. But the thing is, when you're a teenager, or we're preteens going into our teens, man. So now we're over here, like we need to ease into adulthood and everything like that. But also at the same time, we're teenagers. We don't want to be told shit. That's something that all teenagers have in common. We don't want to be told a goddamn thing, man. We want to be told, I want to fuck. That's the big thing that a lot of teenagers are going to give a fuck about. I want to fuck. But there's a lot of self-inflicted shit that happens when you're a teenager, bro. That level of recklessness, that anxiety, the angst, the fear, the lust. Man, that's it, the hunger, the literal hunger, not just like a hunger for greed. Like no, like the literal hunger because your body is growing. You're hungry all the time. You need to eat. So you start eating shit. So it's they but and then in high school, we need to prepare them for life. We need to prepare those teens for life, those kids for life. They're not prepared for life. Not in school. We learn algebra and shit. That shit don't matter. It's just not a necessity. Unless you're going in a particular field. I wanted to learn when I was in middle school. No, when I was in high school, I wanted to learn financial algebra because I'm thinking like I'll be able to learn taxes and how to really work with money and whatnot, bruh. And they said that I wouldn't be able to take that class until senior year because that was a senior class. I was like, all right, fair enough, I guess. So I waited until senior year and I said, yo, I want to take financial algebra, thinking it would be hard yet easy. So hard yet simple, I think I should say. And so I took the class, and in all honesty, bro, fuck that class, because it was too damn easy. It's just adding big numbers together, bro. Subtracting big numbers together. I'm not learning how to do my taxes. I'm not learning how to uh, handle money properly or accordingly. Like, none of this shit was setting me up for life. They were just teaching me real basic stuff. And that's the problem because you spend the majority of your time when you're a teenager, when you're a kid, you could spend the most of your time in school, away from your family, because you're around your family maybe an hour in the morning, maybe, and then 4 hours at night, and 4 hours when you get home, because you gotta be in bed early, because you gotta get up at 6 or 7. You may be spending 5 hours at the house, and that's if your parents get off at 3, and you are home by 3. Not even saying if they get out later, and if they have overtime, or if you go to your friend's house, whatever have you. So you're not spending a lot of time with your parents. You spend more time with your teachers throughout the week, realistically speaking. And that doesn't mean that your teacher becomes your parent. No, you need that level there. But now things become more onto the parent to teach the child because things aren't being taught proper. Things aren't being taught in school. And I was always scared because nobody taught me the proper ways in school. It was always some bullshit that we had to learn just to be an American citizen. And after doing podcasts like Ice to God and Chord Chords and D Weathers, it made me realize there has been a lot more push or realization that public education is some bullshit. And they only teach you how to be a worker. They don't teach you how to be an entrepreneur. They don't teach you how to be independent. They don't teach you for life. And that's something I want to go into at a later date, further. But that's part of it. That was part of why a lot of people struggle because they're not taught independence. They're only taught the Declaration of Independence. They're not taught true independence. They're taught you have to go to college, you have to feed the American economy through the pre-established work. And that's in today's day and age, that's slowly breaking apart, and we're slowly breaking that up with social media, with independent work, with all kinds of other stuff. And thankfully that's happening because someone like in my situation where I am my feet are as flat as the floor you're standing on. My feet are on right now. I can't walk too well without pain. I can walk. I can stand. I can run. It hurts after a few seconds. Well, no, I'm not a few seconds, but if I can't run for like 5 minutes, without pain. My stamina is actually pretty high, but I won't get physically tired. My feet will hurt because I have severe plantar fasciitis. Again, I have no arch at all. I was born like that, so there's not a lot of jobs for someone like me to work. A lot of jobs seated jobs that I could work, I would need to go back to school for, or I would need training underneath in a smaller firm working small wages, minimum wage type stuff. I can't get started because if they were to, let's for instance say if I were to go work in a hospital behind the desk with like I would be answering the phones. I would be the person when you walk into the hospital, name and number, the first person you see sitting at the desk. I applied for many of those positions. I've never gotten them. I've had maybe one interview for a job like that. I literally applied to 25 jobs like that. I've had one interview and it went nowhere. I'm still here. Now, I tried to do that because I actually like doing jobs like that, customer service situations. But they wouldn't take me literally because they would rather somebody with actual clerical experience. So that was a shot in the heart because now I'm sitting here thinking, not only can I not do manual labor because of my feet literally hurt. I create like my feet will hurt and at sometimes may cave in because of the amount of stress I'm putting on them. So not only can I not do manual labor because of that, I can't do seated work because nobody will train me. Nobody will hire me because nobody's willing to train me. They're not willing to take out the time and resources to train me. You see, that puts me in a position, that puts me in a very niche, insulting, and terrible position to live in because I can't live in that. Now, mind you, also there are other factors in that. It's not just I can't just sit here and blame the fucking political system for being unfair, the job system for being unfair. Realistically speaking, guys, I am over 300 pounds, fat and muscle. And I did it to myself. I'm not gonna sit here and oh, it's their fault. Like, no, listen, I was born without arches. I was born with a thick neck, so I have sleep apnea. That's genetics based. I was born with a big body. I'm built like a fucking gorilla. So, but that A does not mean I should be excluded from working a job. But also, I need to take it upon myself to make myself more hireable. I have to. That means I have to lose weight. Unfortunately, I not just fat. I have to lose muscle as well. I've spent years building up the muscle that I've built, and unfortunately, I have to lose it. But I mean, I have to focus on losing fat first because I am more fat than muscle. I'm like 50%, 57% fat. So I'm almost 50-50, and I always wanted to be 50-50, but I can't be 50-50 because if I stay 50-50, I will need my foot and shin fused together. My legs would have to be fused together. They would, and basically it's not like they like superheat my bones and or insert some kind of glue. No, they literally bolt feet. They will bolt fucking. They'll put me under, put a fucking bolt, like 3 bolts in my feet, and call that a fusion. And I know somebody who has that. I used to I work with somebody who, well, I don't work with, it's an on and off job, but I could say I'm technically employed there. I work with a woman who has that. She's in her 60s. She was telling me the whole story because she sees that I wear foot braces. A lot of people see that I wear foot braces. And this woman's telling me the story, and she's in her 60s right now. No, I believe she's in her early 60s, I believe, or early 70s. Either way, she's an elder. And she was telling me this story about how she was wearing a boot. And I actually, okay, when I last saw her, I never seen her wear a boot. I'm thinking maybe she tripped and fell, or she banged her foot on something. No, she saw my braces, and then started telling me this. She asked me about them, and I told her it's because of my feet. And then she was telling me that she had to get her feet fused, and she was saying because she spent so much time, over 400 pounds, that her bones started to wear down on themselves, and that she, even though she got surgery, she not liposuction but something else to get over 200 pounds of fat removed. Her bone, it was too late. Her bones, too much damage was already done, so her bones weren't salvageable. No, the ligaments, her joints weren't salvageable, so they had to fuse her feet together. I never knew this about her. I never knew she was over 400 pounds, but that was crazy. And she had photos of the process, and I almost cried when I saw those photos. It scared the fuck out of me. I I never I've never seen it before. I was only told about the fusion from my podiatrist. I've never seen what it looks like. And she showed me her foot, her x-rays, and I almost cried because this is what I was told was going to happen to me if I don't lose the weight. And I couldn't have that. I couldn't sit there and watch that. I couldn't sit there and look at that. And I even told her, "You just fucked me up." I told her, I was like, I don't think I said that exactly, but I said the equivalent of that. I'm glad she showed me it because it was definitely a wake up call, but it was also like, why the fuck would you show me that? I didn't want to see that. But you need that shock, man. You know, like sometimes you need that shock to wake you the fuck up that, yo, you're fucking up. This is your future, bro. walking, you can't bend your foot, you can't move your foot if you fucking get that shit fused. This woman is 60, and I told her this, and she can't do that shit. She can't move her shit anymore. Now, thankfully, I'm only 24. I'm still young enough to where if I could lose the weight now, the bone, my cartilage and bones will naturally heal themselves. I won't need an injection. I won't need surgery. I won't need any of that. And the doctor himself said, listen, if you can lose the weight early enough, your body will naturally heal itself. We won't have to do anything. You just have to get below 250, 250 pounds, and your bones will, everything will start to ease up. And we won't have to do anything. Now, he said this last time I visited the doctor. When he said that was about 2 years ago. No, that was almost 2 years ago. We visited him early last year when he said this shit. We just visited him, and we visit the last time. Okay, so that was the very last time. That was the most recent time. I just had an appointment with him on this past Wednesday. So yesterday morning, because I needed new braces. Actually, I'm wrong. There was another visit right before that, like last week, to set up this appointment for Wednesday. So what I just told you was 3 appointments ago. But fuck it. Anyway, we're at where we go. Okay, I'm wrong. So, okay. The appointment where he tells me this shit was a year and a half ago. Was over a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. He tells me this shit. Yeah, it was early 2020. He tells me this. Like early to mid 2020. We set up an appointment last week, like sometime early last week, to meet with him in regards to setting up new braces for him to check on my feet, and I needed new foot braces. And then we had another appointment the week after, which is this week, yesterday, that I'm doing this podcast. Yesterday, the day before today, so that he can cast my foot so I can get new foot braces. So I'm speaking about last appointment. I'm just doing that for myself. That's why I did that. So anyway, he tells me. So before, when I saw him back in 2020, he said I need to get under 250. Well, because any kind of surgery cannot happen for anybody under 250. Foot surgery, I mean, because the amount of weight that would be put upon the foot would immediately ruin any kind of healing. So that's why it has to be under 250. Now, I'm not fixing to do any kind of surgery. But 250 sounds doable. And then we go in, and then this next appointment, so last week's appointment, he says I have to get under 205. I'm sitting here like, yo, bro, you just went down by 45 pounds. And my mother was livid, because my mother's a big woman too. Not so much fat wise, but she's like 6 feet. 5'11", 6 feet. So she's been getting hell for years, especially because she's Puerto Rican. She's a Puerto Rican woman, so she's been getting hell for years about her size. Not to mention when she did have some weight to her, before she went vegan. So when she heard that bullshit, she was ready to fuck somebody up, because now when you said 250, that was kind of all right. We were both like, it has to happen. It is what it is. And then you say 205, and now it's like all you hear is when you fat. No, fuck that. Not even just fat. Yeah, no, I'm lying. When you're fat, bro, all you hear is you gotta lose weight. You gotta lose weight. You gotta lose weight from the doctors. Let's just say from the doctors. That's all you fucking hear from doctors. You gotta lose weight, and that's true. Fat fat causes, excess fat, I should say, causes an immense amount, a shitload of issues for the human body. It does. Scientifically, medically, biologically causes a massive amount of issues. Maybe not at the moment, but it will down the line. So that's why you gotta nip that shit in the bud when you're young. So if you got a fat fetish, motherfucker, that shit's fun now. But when you 40, it's gonna fuck you up. It is. It's gonna fuck you up. And it's gonna fuck her up. Whoever you're jacking off to. But it's fun now. Enjoy yourself now, boss. Enjoy yourself now. But you gotta nip that shit in the bud, boss. You gotta nip that shit in the bud, cause that shit ain't cool. Well, that shit is not. You're not gonna have fun later on. So she was ready to fuck somebody up, but then I was like, when I was told 205, I was like, yo, you can go fuck yourself. I'm not getting below 205. I'm not. And that's not me being pessimistic. That's not me being like, oh, I can never reach such a weight. Like, no, I could give a shit about 205. I don't want to be that small. I do not want to be that small. I never liked. The only people that should be that small are beta males and women. In my eyes, and even then, 205 is still small. I like meat. I like size. I am accustomed to size, bro. So, and this isn't even a fat fetish talking. This isn't even a fucking nothing. Cause Anastasia's gonna hear this shit. I gotta put this shit out there. She's gonna think otherwise. No. I have an affinity for size. So when I hear 205 to me is a scrawny motherfucker. For men. For women, that's alright. But for men, nah, that's you scrawny. To me. Unless you a fighter, 205 straight muscle, alright, I'll give that to you. But if you like 170, you are a scrawny motherfucker. You're flying to win. And I was fine with 250 straight muscle. Or a little chub. Just like, or raw muscle. Let's just go with raw muscle. I was fine with that because it is what it is. That's as far as I can go. It's as far as I can go. I've had a literal nightmare where I lost all my muscle. Not just my fat, my muscle. I've lost both my fat and muscle. I was skinny. I was actually skinny, bro. And it was a literal night. I was scared. I woke up scared, bro. Like, I patted my body for my size, and I was like, whew. Jesus, and that's not a joke, bro. That sounds like a joke. Well, that was probably my first ever actual nightmare, bro, where I lost my strength. I'm known for being the big guy. I'm known for being strong. And I always attributed myself with strength and physical prowess. And so that's not just like I have an affinity for it. That's an identity that I have, bro. And so that's why I was looking at him like, yo, I'm not losing this shit, bro. Like, I'm not going down to 205, bro. I don't give a fuck. Unless you're telling me that it's so dire that I need to get to, because me being 5'9", at 24, I'm supposed to be like 189 pounds, I think. I think that's my average weight for somebody my age. Mind you, that's like for white boys, something like that. I'm not, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck what chart you give me, bro. I'm not getting that low. And my mother was even like, yo, like, he's not gonna get that low. Just because it's like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Like, it's just a personal thing at that point. Like, you say, like, I already had to, listen, when the doctor told me I had to get to 250, it fucked me up. It honestly fucked me up. Because I didn't want to get to 250. I didn't want to be under 300 pounds. The perfect weight for me that I thought was 342. I was at the strongest I ever was, lifting the most weight. I was in the best shape of my life. I could say the best shape of my life. I don't think my cardio was so great, but I was the strongest I ever been. Because my jujitsu days, we could talk about that. It varies for when I was doing jujitsu. My cardio definitely was fucking beautiful. My cardio back then when I was 342, I don't think was so hot. That was more of a I was more of a power sprinter at that point, where I loaded a lot on my muscles, and I didn't really go too far. I only really did 15 minutes. That was all the cardio I did. I didn't really do a lot of cardio. I mainly did strength training. But where jiu-jitsu, I did a hell of a lot more cardio. So it's like we could talk about the cardio situation, but in my own eyes, that was my perfect body. Lot of muscle, not too much fat, not too much belly fat. Just like I was Atlas. I was a fucking gorilla, bro. I loved that body. I was damn near unstoppable. But when that happened, COVID hit. I had to lose that body. I lost that body, and that mind you, when I had that body, I was healthy yet incredibly unhealthy. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping properly. My sleep apnea machine was actually fucked up. It was actually like out of date. I had to get a whole new machine. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I wasn't getting good sleep. I wasn't watching my food intake like how I am now. But then at the same time, that was 2019. I was 21. So right there, that tells you I'm 24 now, 3 years later, but it's a difference. It's a difference. So anyway, I'm trying anyway, I wasn't healthy. I was healthy, but also unhealthy at the same time. And with my affinity for size, I always wanted to be like Eddie Hall. I always wanted to be like Brian Shaw. I always wanted to be not. I didn't want to be Arnold. Arnold's body was great, but it wasn't what I wanted. I always wanted to be like the Hulk, like Jeff Loeb Hulk from 2008. Not the movie. I'm talking about the comic book when he fought Red Hulk. When Red Hulk became a thing, like that whole art style. That's what I wanted. The big ass body. The gorilla look. And when he told me that I had to go to 250, I couldn't take it. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it. I wanted to be world's strongest man. That's where I was achieving to go to. Even if I couldn't get to world's strongest man, like the title, I had the unofficial title of being the world's strongest man, or at least the strongest guy in my gym, which I was. I was maybe top 4 strongest guys in my gym. And that's just from who I saw, because I worked in the gym that I worked out at. So I kind of saw the strongest guys on a regular basis. I was one of the strongest guys in my gym. But when he said I had to go back, I couldn't hear it. And it took me a number of months to absorb that information. And only earlier this year, what happened? I think it was November. No, like it was either earlier this year or late last year, like November or December. I cried. I woke up crying because I had to come to terms. Okay, I think it was because I just got done working a snow plowing job. I think it was around this time, and I couldn't stand. My feet, my legs were throbbing, and it hurt. And when I went to sleep, this is like I went to sleep, woke up. I didn't even take a piss. I barely drank water. I just woke up crying. Woke up thinking about how now I'm worthless and how I can't be what I want to be. I can't do what I want to do. And this is another instance of why can't I be me? And and this is different because it's not society telling me I can't be me. This isn't a job not hiring me. This isn't people bullying me. This is nature, design, telling me I can't do what I want to do without becoming crippled later on in my life. And I could not fathom that. And that day that I woke up crying, I was crying because I was tired and frustrated of constantly being in pain, constantly being in foot pain, leg pain, and then mental, physical, like mental pain, anguish. I'm just tired of being in pain. And I had to come to terms with and let go of that dream. Let go of that. I had to come to terms with the fact that I will never be world's strongest man. I will never be the strongest man on this planet. Physically. I will never be able to hold that title. I will I will never have the body that I wanted, that I want. That body will forever be out of my reach because I have to lose weight. I will never be able to lift a car or at least a big car. I could probably do a smart car because I have to lose weight. And then I had to come to terms, and then I had to let that dream go so that I could have a proper future and not be a cripple. And that was one of the days of maturity for me that I had to, it was crazy. I really had to let go of this dream that I had, this aspiration, this thing that I've been aspiring to for about 4 years. I had to let go because it will fuck me up if I keep going towards it. This isn't society telling me I can't do something. This isn't people bullying me, the saying that I can't do something, pointing their finger and laughing or anything. No, this is nature. This is genetics telling me that if I do this, it will not end well. And you can't stop nature. Gaia don't give a fuck about what you want. She don't give a fuck about your desires, bro. When you're in a position like mine, she could give a fuck. She looks at you like a black woman, like an angry black woman. That's cute. That's cute. Just like that. Not a shit in the world, bro. Does not care, bro. Does not care. And I had to do that. And it stung. It hurt. It still hurts a little bit. It still hurts a little bit, bro. Like thinking about it, it still hurts. But it is what it is. I have to create a new goal. I have to be the strongest dude at 250 pounds. I had to change my tactics. I can't do strength training like that anymore. I have to switch to. So I had to switch disciplines. Okay. So what was the answer? What was the answer? I couldn't do weightlifting anymore. No, I could still lift weights. I could still squat, bench, do all that. I couldn't do strongman training anymore. So then what could I do? The next best thing: martial arts, combat sports. I had to go back and do what I started doing, which was fighting. I've never been in a real, not to say I've never been in a real fight. I've just been training for a number of years. Since I was a kid, doing karate, then I did jujitsu and boxing and a little MMA. And so I had to go back to my roots, which was combat sports. And so I started working with Isaac. We started training. And it's been on and off lately, I'm not gonna lie, especially as of late. It was cold, and it was cold and rainy for a while, then it got hot. And he wants to get back to it. Now I'm a little busy. I'm slightly busier because I also have, in other news, I'll get to that part in a second, why I'm a little busier. But there was a little period of time before the rain, like where I was jogging, and I mean I still am jogging, and I'm fight training, so I'm working on getting my punches right, working on getting that right, and it's the perfect blend of cardio and strength, especially for a guy my size, where I have to figure out how to fight with my weight and my mass, especially at that. I'll be a heavyweight. And at this point, I had to, and if I'm going to pursue this, I'm not going to pursue it professionally. I don't plan on being a professional fighter. I honestly just want to do it A, for the workout, and A, for the workout, B, for the discipline, and C, if a motherfucker steps to me. And this is a question I actually always asked. This is a question I always asked myself when I was younger, when I was lifting. Bro, you got this muscle. What if somebody really does step to you, bro? Like, you just gonna hold them and break their neck, which is possible, which could very much happen. I could just break their neck. I didn't want to hurt anybody. I didn't want to hurt nobody. It didn't matter how much muscle I had. I never wanted to hurt people. I just had the muscles really for intimidation and for my own self. For my own self. I never wanted to actually hurt people. So what if somebody steps to me? What am I fixing to do? Am I gonna be able to handle it? Am I gonna be able to deal with it? And if I'm not, then if I'm not able to deal with that, why? Because you haven't been training. That's why. And so it actually fits a lot of boxes, checks a lot of boxes. It'll help me lose weight. It'll help me with my mental discipline. It'll help me with my combat experience. If somebody has a problem with me, I'll be able to defend myself, self-defense. And I always pushed for self-defense. I always said that people need to defend themselves. And for some reason, people didn't like when I advocated for self-defense. Sometimes a lot of women did not advocate for me wanting them to defend themselves. For some stupid ass reason. That's no, I'm not here for that tangent. That's not what we're doing with this episode. So I think right now I think now I like it. It's really back to my roots, and I do enjoy it. I still lift my weights. You know what, boxers gotta lift weights. There's nothing like weight training. You picking up a heavy ass object repeatedly. I still lift my weights. I still do what I got to do. I run now, which I jog now, which is something I never really did before. I never took a jog. I was embarrassed to take a jog around my neighborhood. Not because I'm fat, but because it's like, look at this goofy fuck running up and down the neighborhood. Not a fat fuck, goofy fuck. I was always like, yo, if I'm a jogger, I gotta do it at the gym. But then it's like, you know what? I came to a point where I was too broke for a gym membership. Even Planet Fitness, I needed that $10. It came to a point because I was on unemployment, and the money wasn't coming in. Thank fuck I got all those background jobs, or I would be broke. Really, bro, like really broke, bro. I thank fuck I got all those background jobs. So things were, I was being fed and taken care of for a while, for a good while. So thankfully with those, but even still, I needed, when it time came to pay the piper, bro, to pay Planet Fitness, I couldn't pay them. I needed that $10, and it wasn't just like, oh, I couldn't give them $10. The gas it took to get over there. The car is fucking up. The car's got. I have a Subaru, guys, and you know what Subarus, the fucking gasket oil leaks into the fucking coolant, so now the car can overheat, and it's just a lot of issues, a lot of factors get in there. I had to get to Planet Fitness. I couldn't get there. So I had to work with what I have. I have weights in my garage. I have a weighted vest. It's sunny out. Right now it's cloudy, but it's the summertime. So now I'm collecting vitamin D. So now I'm just out sometimes with Amy. Most of the time with Amy. Other times it's just me. I just jog, bro. I'll do that shit for about 30 to 40 minutes. Come back to the house. I'll throw some punches for about 15 to 20 minutes. Work on my hands, my footwork, and then I'll pick up a weight for about 15 to 20 minutes. So I'll be doing damn near a 2-hour workout, bro. At the house, collecting vitamin D, damn near getting skin cancer. So that I can get my body right. And I've actually lost a good amount of fat, guys. I'm at the heaviest I've ever been. The heaviest I've ever been was like 370, almost 380. I think 382. Yeah, it was almost 400 pounds. Not straight fat. It was fat and muscle, but a lot of it, I did gain a lot of fat from that COVID. And also I wasn't eating right. But just wasn't eating right. So I switched up and so between me now doing, but then you know what? I was also not doing a lot of cardio. And I realized that I wasn't doing a lot of cardio. So at Planet Fitness, I started changing things. Instead of just doing 15 minutes on the elliptical and 15 minutes on the bike, because I added that. When I was at Ortega's, I wasn't doing 15 minutes on the bike. I stopped doing the last 15 minutes of cardio because I would just spend so much time weightlifting. I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. But I needed that first 15 minutes to give me that nice warm-up. At Planet Fitness, I started doing that last 15 minutes because I needed to do it. I needed that extra cardio. I needed that extra oomph to push me forward. But it wasn't getting the results that I needed because I was holding back. I was too scared of looking weak and not putting the resistance all the way up and not doing what I had to do. So I had to make that change. I had to stop being a little pussy. Put the resistance all the way up. At Planet Fitness, the resistance only goes to like 25. Max out the elliptical. Max out the fucking the bike. The seated the one with the back. The one with the back and the armrest. Because I can't sit on the classic bike where you're leaning forward and that fucks up your fucking mid back, your lower back, your lumbar. I can't do that shit anymore. So I do the seated, and it just primarily focuses on the feet even more than the one without a back. But anyway, I maxed those two out, and now instead of doing 15 minutes on each, I do 20. I do 20 minutes on each now. So, and you guys are like, oh, whoa, you added 5 minutes, guys. Adding that 5 minutes, adding that 10 minutes to that workout at 25 at the max resistance changed the game. It changed the game. I started to actually lose a lot more weight. My body started to change a lot more by doing that. It was in between that, with that coupled with the change in diet, the steady change of diet, I started to lose weight a lot more. And, well, first what happened actually was my stomach. For a while, my stomach was actually bulbous. It wasn't just fat and round. It was bulbous. And so at the sides, they stuck out a lot more. Kind of like those goldfish with the big ass bubbles around their face. I forgot what they're exactly called, but those goldfish, it kind of looked like that in a caricature way. But think of it akin to that. And then as you went down, it was smoother and came under. So when I started doing the extra 10 minutes with the increased resistance, and I stopped eating a whole cauliflower pizza with oatmeal, regular instant oatmeal with sugar, with all that sugar, the carbs, and all the sugar and the carbs, it changed me. Just taking out those two things, bro, and increasing the workout changed the game, bro. I was no longer, my stomach eventually, like after about 3 weeks, started to deflate. And I don't mean like just get smaller. I mean like that bulbousness went away, and it's away right now. It's not as bulbous. And that simple change was crazy because I didn't. Now, as much as I knew about nutrition, what's crazy is that I totally, my stupid ass brain, my sleep apnea riddle brain, forgot that. I'm thinking like, oh, I'm eating all these carbs and everything, and it's okay. There's no problem. I'm working out at the gym like 3 times a week, doing what I gotta do. Yeah, I'm on my night owl shit still. Also, I was actually still on my night owl life. At the same time, it wasn't that crazy. It wasn't as crazy as it used to be, but I was still at the gym at like 3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, so me changing that lifestyle was still it's still fairly recent. Believe it or not, I was still waking up late. So me taking out, so in my mind, I'm eating these carbs, I'm working out at the gym, I'm fine. Guys, I forgot that carbs turn into sugar. And if you're not doing a proper workout, it's going to stay as sugar and add to your body. Now here's the thing. Yeah, carbs aren't that bad when you monitor them, but when you have, okay, one cauliflower pizza, cheese cauliflower pizza or pepperoni is like 93 grams of carbs, the whole thing. Now, I say that, but the usual human amount, the average human should eat about 135 grams of carbs a day. So you're eating the bulk of that just by having one pizza. So I'm eating that pizza with my quinoa earlier in the day. But together I would have that pizza with that oatmeal and that instant oatmeal with all the sugar, all the carbs in it. So the oatmeal, I believe, would be like 39 grams of carbs plus whatever, like 16 grams of sugar. I'm thinking this shit is fine because I'm working out. It wasn't fine. Because, okay, it's only like 12, 16 grams of sugar. Bro, what is 93 plus 39? And I could be highballing on that 39, bro, but still. I'm not about to do that math. It's over 100. It's almost 150. Plus whatever else I ate. And then whatever other sugars I was having with my apple, bananas. I was eating my berries. And berries don't even have that much sugar. Believe it or not. You have to eat a lot of berries for them to affect you in such a way. I was eating all that and not realizing that all that added sugar was mixing with the natural sugar from the carbs, plus what else was already in there, all the other additives that were in and primarily the oatmeal, because the oatmeal was had all the added stuff to it, had all the added stuff to it. And it was, the big part of it was the change, taking out that cauliflower pizza for a good while, and the changing what oatmeal I ate. Now also, I was eating microwavable beef patties, beef and cheese, and my microbiome was fucked up for a while. But I stopped eating those, and those were like 43 grams of carb per beef patty. I don't even remember. I think I'm highballing that too, but it was still a lot for one beef patty. And I was having two of them back to back. That was my go-to. I'm on a run food. I was still eating like shit. I'm not even supposed to be eating those, bro. My farts were fucking atrocious while I was eating those. My microbiome was god awful. God awful. It was hellish. And I didn't realize that. But I stopped eating those before I stopped eating the cauliflower pizzas with that level of oatmeal. And now, as a matter of fact, I just went food shopping yesterday. And I've been slowly getting back into the cauliflower pizza thing, because I've reworked my entire diet. I've reworked my whole situation. I'm not eating as much bullshit. Really watching what I eat now. So what I usually eat throughout the day is I'll have now I'm also fasting. I used to just eat every 3 hours or so, but now I'm also fasting. I'm doing a 12-hour fast. Sometimes do a 16-hour fast, but I'm not. I won't do the 16-hour fast on purpose as much. If I do a 16-hour fast, that's because like I want to put stuff in front of me eating, or I want to do a workout, or like I don't make it a prerogative. All right, I'm gonna fast. I don't say to myself I'm gonna fast for 16 hours. No, it'll be like I'll do my 12-hour fast, and then I'll wake up and I'll look at it and be like, okay, maybe I have a little time before I need to eat, or before I can eat. Let me fill it in right quick with something else, and then that something else might snowball into two other things, or it might take a little bit to do that other thing, whatever that other thing is. And usually I try to eat I usually try to fast, like work out while I'm fasting, so that when I eat, I could just regain all the nutrients and whatnot. But recently, I'm looking up that for proper muscle growth, I shouldn't work out fasted. So I'm trying to work that out now to where, okay, let me break my fast, but let me not eat my heavy meal, so that I can get the proper nutrient intake while also not burning my wallet. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to balance all this out here so I can have proper nutrient intake while also having proper muscle growth, and so I can have proper weight loss at the same time. And there's a way to go about this, and I'm step by step figuring it out. But anyway, I'm doing a 12-hour. Okay. So let's start this off. I'm doing a 12-hour fast now. And I switched my oatmeal. So okay. So I'll do a heavy. I eat about 3 meals a day. You can call it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I usually just call it, and it is a breakfast. Actually, you know what? Let me say this before I go in. My mother and my sister said they don't eat breakfast. That's incorrect. Breakfast is in the name. You break fast. You're breaking the fast of whether you're breaking the fast of the night of your sleep, or you're breaking the fast of your fast, whatever it is. Whatever you're doing a 10 hour, 12 hour, 16-hour fast. You're breaking the fast. You haven't eaten in 12 hours, so you're breaking your fast. It's in the name, breakfast. You're breaking the fast of the night. And you know who told me that? Motherfucking Teen Titans Go. When that bitch Starfire said, "You're not having breakfast. The breaking of the fast of the night." She said that shit like that, and I was like, "Holy shit, that is what breakfast is. It's not just eggs and toast. You're literally breaking the fast of the night." I didn't even think about that shit, bro. That's that shit. That's that shit. That's that bullshit. But anyway, so they said that they don't eat breakfast, and I'm like, that's not facts. People usually just associate breakfast with orange juice and eggs. No, it's you breaking the fast of the night. You breaking the fast. So your next meal. So let's say like you don't eat. You stopped eating at 12 a.m. That was your last meal. You're not eating till 12 p.m. Your next meal is lunch for the rest of the planet. Is lunch for the majority of people, but for you, that's your breakfast because you're breaking fast. That's why. That's what that is. So anyway, but you can call it my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I call it my heavy my heavy meal, my snack meal, and my light meal. And my heavy meal consists of the usual. This hasn't changed so much. Is chicken, some pieces of chicken, 4 or 5 pieces of chicken, depending on what it is. Depending, 4 or 5 eggs, depending on the day. And I say depending on the day because I could be having dinosaur pieces of chicken. I'll just have 2 of those leg quarters, dinosaur leg quarters, or if I'm having thighs, just thighs, or or not wings. I don't eat them shits because they're too small, bro. I tried doing that before. I'm not doing that shit again. Cooking them like that, fuck that. I could just have legs. They could be big legs. I'll have like 4 or 5 pieces, or if I'm feeling gluttonous, I'll have 6. It is what it is. I'll do that shit with 4 or 5 eggs. 5 if I can afford it, but usually 4. With the yolk. I could give a fuck about. It's good cholesterol. Eat that yolk. Eat that unless you have real medical issues that you can't ingest that yolk. Eat that yolk. That's nutrients. That is nutrients. With yolk, so let's just say, all right, let's just go with 4 pieces of chicken, 4 eggs, some spinach and kale mixed in with the eggs. So I put it in the eggs and I beat the shit in the egg. I beat the veggies in it. I beat the spinach and kale in the eggs with a few spices. And I'm gonna list these off. Adobo. I can get up and go to my kitchen right now, but I'm trying to remember this shit. Adobo, basil, black pepper, cumin, paprika, lemon pepper seasoning, turmeric. God damn it, there's one more and I can't remember. But yeah, it's like 8. It's like 8. Like eight spices. And bro, like, yo, what I really found out, and Anastasia was getting on my ass because I just found it out. It's like, yo, y'all need to season your fucking food, bro. Seasoning ain't just there to fucking add flavor to shit. Like, it genuinely improves the quality of your food, bro. Not just flavor wise. Like, if you look up what's in paprika, bro, what's in turmeric, what's in cumin, what it does for your body, bro, it functionally helps you, bro. Like, look up the benefits, bro. Like, a lot of produce and fruits, vegetables, and spices fight cancer. They genuinely fight cancer, bro, which is crazy. You wouldn't think that a little fucking basil and black pepper would fight cancer, but they do. They fight cancer. All produce fights cancer, bro. It's crazy. So it can be expensive depending on where you go. I suggest going to Stop and Shop, get some great value stuff. If you can afford McCormick, you get McCormick. If you can't, it is what it is. Get it. Season your fucking food so that you can eat, so you can eat better. All right? Do not skip out on the seasoning. Season your food. It not only will taste better, it will help your body. Cumin helps fight illness and disease. It improves your immune system. So I believe the same with black pepper. But yeah, look up all that shit, bro. Adobo, turmeric, cumin, black pepper. I keep trying to say banana, black pepper, fucking nigga. Lemon black pepper seasoning, lemon pepper seasoning, paprika. Did I say cumin? Fuck it. Yeah, I got a few different spices that I work with, bro. And I put that shit in my eggs, on my chicken, on my salmon, on my in the majority of the food that I eat, bro. In my eggs and on my meat. So, but anyway, my heavy meal is 4 pieces of chicken, 4 eggs, like 4 pieces of chicken seasoned up. I'll have 4 eggs with some kale and spinach. I don't even measure how much kale and spinach I put in with cups. I just put in however much I feel, maybe too much or too little. That's just my own personal preference. You can do it as you wish. I think I put about a cup in. I I honestly don't know. I just go in with what I feel would be too much or too little. And then I have quinoa. And I can say I don't have a cup of quinoa, or I have a cup of cooked quinoa, I should say. Maybe I have a few spoonfuls of quinoa. I put it on my plate. I put the chicken over the plate, put that in the microwave, and then the juices from the chicken drench all over the quinoa, and it makes the quinoa tastier. But now I used to just do bare quinoa. Now what I started doing was putting beans in my quinoa. So I have a can of seasoned black beans, and I tried to figure out with my quinoa, and so now I boil them together. So I'll put the quinoa in. I'll put the butter in first, grass-fed butter, the best butter, or olive oil, whichever you choose. And it's really that's really the only time I really have butter is when I make my quinoa. So I put the butter on, let it simmer for a little bit, put the quinoa in, and then I'll put the beans on it, and then mix those two together. Wait for that to happen a little bit. Then I'll put chicken stock in with less sodium, so I can watch my sodium intake, but still for the shit to have flavor. And then I'll let that boil for about 20 minutes or so. And yeah, that's really how I do it. So, because I also needed a few more. Let's make if I'm gonna have a heavy meal, let's have a heavy meal, and so that's where I wanted to bolster and fortify that with something else and with another protein, a good fat and a good carb. And so I was like, what can I squeeze in there to add to it? And beans was the answer. Beans, not lentils, fucking lentil, beans. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna start putting beans in my quinoa, what am I gonna boost it with? Which beans am I gonna use? And I looked, and of the beans that are out there, I don't fuck with most of them shits, bro. I don't fuck with most beans. I do not like chickpeas, bro. I never liked chickpeas. I'm Hispanic. If you're Hispanic, bro, you've had chickpea. You've been forced to eat chickpeas before because they do not fucking. Puerto Ricans do not make a bowl of rice without chickpeas, bro. And I've never liked chickpeas. I never liked the fucking octagonal shape that they had. I never liked the hard, like even when you boil them and heat them, steam them, they still feel a little hard. I never liked how they felt, so I was not going with chickpeas. Bonzo beans, Anastasia eats bonzos. I don't like the way they smell. I'm just going through the beans list and I'm like, which ones do I like? Black and kidney beans. I will stick with black beans and kidney beans, bro. I stuck with those and I fuck with those and I like them. and they're not the top. They're top five beans, but they're not. I don't think they're even in the top three. I think they're like the last two. But fuck it, I like them, and I'll take them. So now I'm putting in either black beans or kidney beans, whichever I'm feeling at the moment. So I'll buy like I'll get like six or I'll get like about 3 or 4 of each can. Yeah, I'll get like 4 of each can. They're only like $1, and I'll put them in the fucking and I'll put one of the cans in my quinoa. So now it's fortified with beans and everything. So now I get the extra nutrients from the beans. And then after that, I'll recap all this shit for you guys at the end because I definitely should start wrapping it up. So and then after that, I have my snack meal, which is lighter, but it's really to get me throughout the day. So now it's with that, I'll have like a bag of one of those microwavable bags of vegetables. I try to down one of those. I'm usually not successful. I'll have that. Maybe a banana. I'll have maybe it varies. The snack meal could be 2 or 3 items. It's usually not one. It's usually not two. I usually try to have 3. So it's like I could have like a protein bar if I worked out, or a muscle milk if I worked out. I could have an apple. I could have vegetables, a bag of vegetables, an orange, a little bit of pineapples, grapes, some cherries, something light, something small that I could have with a few other things. Like right now, when I'm done with this, I'm gonna have some grapes, and I gotta eat those vegetables because I gotta head out. I gotta head out at like 6 to go to that open mic because I'm walking there. But yeah, it's a number of things that I have in that light meal. But usually 2 or 3, I try not to overdo it. Try not to have something that would counteract each other, and I would have that about later in the day. So and then with my light, and then with my my light meal. I say light because it's not a snack meal. This is actually something light. Now pay attention here. I'll have one avocado, Haas avocado. I read that that's supposed to be the best avocado. I don't know if that's fucking true, but that's what I usually see. So I'll have a Haas avocado with a little bit of popcorn, like a bag or some fresh kernel corn, not kettle corn, just straight, like actual. You have to pour the kernels into the fucking pot and pop it like that, not a bag with all the, as fun and delicious as that butter bullshit, salted butter bullshit is, bro. You shouldn't have it because it's straight sodium and bullshit butter. Because popcorn on itself is good. Like by itself is actually fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fiber. Oh, that's all it is. It's just fiber. So I'll have a Haas avocado with some free kernel popcorn, and loaded oatmeal. Pay attention to that, because I was talking about oatmeal a lot today. So by what I mean by loaded oatmeal is that I'll have about half a cup of oatmeal with, in a bowl. You put in a bowl strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, and if you can find some good ones, blueberries. I'll chop up the strawberries, mash up, and then put it in the bowl with the rest of the berries. Mash them up, and then put them in the bowl with the oatmeal. And in that bowl with the oatmeal, I'll have like a tablespoon of peanut butter with a chopped up banana and flaxseed, ground flaxseed. I started putting flaxseed in there. Now it sounds like a lot because for some people it might be, but I that, like I said earlier, it's mostly a carb thing that is to be had if you haven't eaten after a little bit and if you're fasting and you worked out, you did some kind of exercise for like 20 to 30 minutes, because it is a big carb thing. It's actually pretty low in sugar, because of the berries. The berries don't have a lot of sugar. A banana doesn't have a lot of sugar, but it is high in carb. It is a high carb thing, and the carbs turn into sugar right after. But also, all the berries and the flaxseed, the oatmeal and the peanut butter aids in sleep. It create and avocados and popcorn. All that whole meal I just said aids in sleep. The whole point of that is to help me get to bed better. So I'll have that about 3 to 4 hours before bed, and then not only that, not only will that digest and aid in sleep and help me take a dump in the morning because the fiber will activate while I'm at rest. It will also like hold me until while I fast. So there's nothing but benefits by having that shit at night before. So it's like if I have it at 10 at night, I won't go to bed till 2. And I won't wake up until 10. So I'll have that at 10 at night. Let's say I have that at 10 at night. I probably won't be done eating until 11. So my fasting actually won't start until 11 a.m. My fasting won't actually start until 11 a.m. And I'm in bed at 2 a.m. So I'm in bed. So I eat at 10 p.m. I start my fast at 11 a.m. I'm in bed 3 hours later. I'm in bed 3 hours after that, and then I wake up at 10 a.m. I wake up and I'm not eating for another hour. So right there, my fast is already taken care of. It gives me time to wake up, gives me time to chill, figure out things, brush my teeth, do whatever I got to do. And by that, it actually works out a lot better. So then I can start my day off with a heavy meal because I haven't eaten in 12 hours. My body has been taken care of for a number of hours. Now, I can wait until 12 noon. That's fine. It's fine after that. But that's the point of having that carbo load, that good carbo load before bed. It actually will help out a lot with holding me until my next meal. Now, this is just how I eat. Everybody can eat, how they want to eat. That's all up to y'all. My sister just walked in. If y'all hear those fucking keys jingling. You guys can eat how you eat. This is how I've set my system up for myself. Oh, also, when it comes to probiotics, I also have either kombucha or kefir. Shit, I didn't get kefir last night. I forgot peanut butter and kefir. Damn it. I don't even think they had that shit. Fuck it. It is what it is. But I'll have like a weekly probiotic to help my microbiome, and I'll have one in like the end of the week, in the beginning of the week. So like around Monday or Tuesday, I'll have one glass of kefir, 8 ounces of kefir, which is like a fermented yogurt drink. I thought it was just straight milk, but it's actually closer to yogurt than milk. I'm not a yogurt guy, so I'm not gonna just have straight yogurt. But that, I'll have that. It's you moderate in sugar and carbs, so you can have that along. You can actually have that along with your mid meal, with your light meal, with your snack, as opposed to just having it as a snack. Because it is moderate. It's like got like 13 grams of carbs, 12 grams of sugar in it. So watch out with that. But it works. It's a probiotic, so use it wisely. And kombucha, depending on which one you get, will have like 7 grams of sugar, which is nothing, which is all right. And I usually have that between Friday, Saturday, Sunday, somewhere around there. So I usually have 2 probiotics to help my microbiome. Now, guys, I'm no fucking health expert. I didn't go to fucking Good Eating USA. This is just me, a guy who's got to get in shape, who's got to get into a better form, who's got to get in better health, finding things out, doing research, looking at other YouTubes, Team 3D Alpha. He's been a big help. I hope to have him on the podcast one day, because I've been watching his videos a lot. It's just like the way that, like, I just do my own research and figure these things out for myself. Which do I like? Which would be best for me? And in all honesty, in my OCD ass mind, I would have everything under the sun that I could to make myself better. But I can't, because my body gloms onto sugar so easily because I'm Puerto Rican. And B, I don't like everything under the sun. I'm over here thinking, oh, maybe I should start eating mangoes. I don't fucking like mango. I don't like mango. I don't like kiwi. I should have kiwi. Kiwis is good for you. It's a superfruit. I don't like kiwi. I tried it once. I'm good. I'm not a fan of kiwi. I, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't fret. Pick what you like and what you need to have. Now, right quick. So let me wrap this up, because this shit is running out of battery and it's already been an hour and a half and I got shit to do. So, guys, like I was saying, there's a lot more I could go into, and I'm gonna definitely do other podcasts on this. But this is just an update as to me changing my lifestyle, changing my eating habits, changing my diet. I'm not gonna say this works for everybody. You have to try it. This is what you need. You need to try it for yourself and see if it works for you. You have to give it some time. You have to let it work. And if it doesn't work, then switch it up. Switch to something else. You have to do the research yourself, guys. I know there's a situation where we all want to be, people are lazy, but also people yes are lazy, but also people want to be people need help figuring things out. And there are ways to figure it out. Google, as much as I fucking don't like Google does make things a lot easier for us. You just be specific with your questions. All you gotta do is type in flaxseed benefits, and they will show you mad shit about the benefits of flaxseed. And try to be specific about what you want, what you need, and you'll find it. We can do another podcast on this later, guys. I'm no health expert. I'm just a guy who needs to lose weight. That's it. And I'm doing the research, and I'm dedicated. I'm a guy who needs to lose weight and loves food. That's what it is. Who loves food and loves feeling good. So let me just go through that grocery list again. Heavy meal. I do a 12-hour fast. I do a nice cardio workout in the sun. I do a 30-minute. I do a 60 to 120-minute cardio workout in the sun. Cardio and strength workout in the sun. Okay. I do a 12-hour fast. I get 8 hours of good sleep. I try to get 8 hours of good sleep. I get 7.5 to 8 hours. Okay. I do a 12-hour fast. I try to get 7.5 to 8 hours of good sleep. I drink water. I also forgot to tell you to hydrate. God damn it. I try to drink about 3 gallons of water a day. So I 12-hour fast. I try to get 7.5 to 8 hours of good sleep. I try to drink 3 gallons of water a day. You have to drink your body weight in water daily, and then some. I have 3 meals a day: a heavy meal, a snack meal, and a light meal. Heavy meal consists of 4 pieces of chicken, 4 eggs, spinach and kale mix, quinoa and beans, with chicken stock, your choice of chicken stock, and a whole slew of seasonings: black pepper, turmeric, basil. Pick 8. Pick 8. Just go pick paprika. Pick 8 seasonings that you think would work for you. Rosemary, thyme, whatever. You ain't Richie Rich, but you want to eat good. Okay? Protein. Your light meal, your snack meal is vegetables with grapes, an apple, protein shake, an orange. You can have 2 to 3 of those, 4 if they're really light. But watch your sugar because you can have a lot of sugar with that. But choose wisely amongst what you're eating. And then as your light meal, which is supposed to be, I actually should switch that to my bedtime meal because again, I centered that around helping me sleep. A Haas avocado with, oh yo, I forgot about olive oil. Shit. Add olive oil to the fucking heavy meal because I use a lot of olive oil for that. So add olive oil to that. Write down olive oil. I don't know the difference between virgin and unvirgin. I have to figure that out. I haven't looked into that yet. So the bedtime meal, a Haas avocado, free kernel popcorn. That means the popcorn you have to pop in the pot yourself. Not the bag shit. The bag shit tastes good, but save that shit for movie night. All right, free kernel popcorn. You can have that butter oil. I don't know if that shit is even good for you, bro. But also, or you can just use grass-fed butter. Whichever one, look into that for yourself. See which was good for you, and also, loaded oatmeal. So that's oatmeal with a tablespoon of peanut butter, 1 banana, and a bowl of raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries. 4 to 5 strawberries. Mash all the berries up, put it in the oatmeal, and then drench it all in dusted with flaxseed, with ground flaxseed. And use either water or oat milk. Or you can use regular low-fat milk, low-fat grass-fed milk. It has to be grass-fed or it's bullshit. Or frip. And that actually goes for the heavy meal too. If you don't want to use chicken, I use ground turkey sometimes. I use salmon sometimes. I've had salmon fillets, not canned salmon. Fuck that shit. I've had ground turkey before. I've had salmon fillet, salmon steak before. I've had tuna steak before. I use ground beef. Mind you, 93% lean, 7% fat. That's a good ratio. Grass fed. So make sure all the shit I'm telling you is grass fed, pasture raised, not pasteurized. That's that's a different thing. Pasture raised meat. If you're eating meat, grass fed lean pork, grass fed lean beef, farm raised fish. Ground turkey. Turkey's usually good as is, no matter what it eats. That's not facts, but still. And eggs, pasture raised eggs, too. Guys, I know that sounds expensive because especially in today's economy with inflation, it is expensive. But you have to do your best with what you have. All right. Thankfully, I'm gracious enough to be in a position to where I can afford it. Now, that's another conversation for another day. But right now, changing. Oh, and also with the oatmeal. I'm sorry, guys. I keep forgetting. With the oatmeal, do not use instant shit. Use rolled oats, steel cut oats. Either use rolled oats, steel cut oats, or what I'm just looking at, oat groats, which is oat groats is oatmeal in its purest form, which I gotta look more into. And don't even think sugar-free oatmeal is your friend. It's not your friend. Use original, because original is the best of the instant oatmeals. If you're going with the instant packet route, because what I found out is that sucralose, that because it's got no sugar in it, but they call it sugar free, but then they add sucralose, which is an artificial sugar, non-sweetened sugar additive, which, okay, it's not nutritional, but it's artificial as all hell, so it fucks with your microbiome, and that's why I've been farting a lot lately. That's one of the reasons why I've been farting a lot lately, because I've been ingesting a lot of sucralose. I ingest it almost daily, and that's a problem. So now I'm just buying original, and I'm loading it up with other things in there. Because oatmeal is still good regardless, but I know it's boring. It's boring on its own. It is, but it's healthiest on its own. So if you can't afford steel cut oats or oat groats, get original rolled oats. Because those are the ones that have not been fucked with as much. At most, they've just been heated and they were just super heated and something else. But that's why you want to load it up with those fruits and peanut butter and flaxseed, because that's where the other flavor will come. And even then, with the peanut butter, watch out which peanut butter you get, because there's a bunch of peanut butters out there. I haven't done research on that. But anyway, guys, I will wrap it up with that. We got into nutrition. I actually have fun with that. I wish I didn't have to rush through it, but I will. I'll try to definitely edit this together if I can. Just so that you guys can have a better scope as to what I'm eating and what I'm doing to get better, and hopefully it works out with you guys. You guys can try it, see if it works for you. If not, figure it out. You can definitely figure it out by doing your own research, and I implore you to do that, because not everything works for everybody. Again, also probiotics, kefir, and kombucha. You definitely need to do your own research, because your body might not be the same as mine, or you might not like what I like. So try it out, see what works for you, and hopefully your body will improve too. Anyway, I want to thank you guys very much for listening to this episode. I'm happy. I really am happy to be back. I was actually going to do this one about social media. Well, I don't like social media, but I turned it into fucking nutrition facts. So that is what it is. I'll do social media next time. I don't like social media, even though I need it. I don't like it. Thank y'all very much for listening. Please follow the podcast at castsmash.live, YouTube, Facebook and Smash 6, YouTube and Smash, Anchor, Smash Cast. Yeah, I gotta get that one together. And yeah, follow the podcast, like, subscribe, share on all platforms. Thank y'all very much. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy. Smash out.